Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 161. Today's date is October 23rd, 2022, and I am Duds or Duds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Not a lot of Minecraft, surprisingly. I say that. I have an episode coming out. It should have already coming out, or came out by the time this goes live. But I worked on the Great Hall. I built the second story that's going in there, and it turned out really good. And I actually got it done rather quickly, so that's good. That's awesome. I worked on what originally was going to be called the Armory Room, and I was going to have this special thing where like I could have suits of armor sitting there waiting. So if I died, I could just hit a button, and the armor stand would explode to an arrow. And then now that I'm thinking about this, I could have done this. Oh, man. This whole thing relied on a dispenser shooting an arrow through a hopper to get it to work. But now that I'm realizing I could have just shot an arrow down at the armor stand, and that would have worked too, as I've already finished the room and rendered the episode.
Hey, put it somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah, well, the thing I came up with, to me, is it's just as cool. It's like, kind of if you go into a retail store, you know how they have like clothes on display?
Yeah.
I've got like armor pieces on display. It's hard to describe, but
like mannequins?
Yeah, kind of. It took 4 armor stands, but I have like a helmet, a chest plate, boots, and I have a corresponding chest. And then I just filled those chests, or well, they're barrels, up with leftover armor.
Yeah, that's one thing that I gather up more than I think is like armor and tools, just in case you want to, combine them. It's always nice to have.
And I did have to go to your base this week.
Okay.
So my little display, I really wanted to use that skulk block backdrop, and I was too short, so I had to go steal 2 skulk from you.
Oh, you and me too, skulk.
I can hook you up with some skulk.
Okay, I've been using a good bit of it, the skulk.
It looked pretty good. Yawning like crazy. I never caught up on sleep this weekend. This week and next week is just going to be crazy for work. Like these past 2 weeks for work in general, we had a huge shortage of stuff. Now all of it seems to be coming back in stock at the same time. So instead of this stuff being spread out, so we're only doing a little bit a week at a time like we normally do, we're getting all of it at one time. So like a pipe truck, we get 1 pipe truck every other month. And they usually go between 12,000 and 15,000 pounds of pipe.
Wow.
And we have to physically pick that up and walk it and unload it. And it takes like 2 hours. 1 every other month. We've gotten 2 in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And on top of that, we have other things coming in. And I'm wore out. And then this weekend, I couldn't get any rest going because my fence during the hurricane, it already wasn't the best fence that came with the house, but a couple of the poles had rotted out at the bottom. And then with the hurricane, it finally just kind of like broke them.
The wind.
Yeah, luckily other poles were still stationed, so the fence could hold itself up. But if you went to like pull on it, it was just going to fall apart. So my dad came over yesterday to help me, and it doesn't look like they had any concrete at the bottom of it. So we just start digging it out. We get about 6 to 8 inches down, and there's another foot of concrete right there.
Oh.
So yeah, on top of having to dig out rotted wood, we then had to dig out giant concrete blocks.
Oh, wow.
The manual labor this past week has been great. And then next week for work, we're going to be shorthanded because the guy's on a cruise.
Lucky him.
Lucky him. Yeah, so I'm going to be real tired lately, so it might be another 10, 14 days or whatever before I get another video out. How about you? How have you done this past week?
Well, I've played a little bit of Minecraft, not much on multiplayer end. I wanted to start over in a single player world just to like get the, juices flowing, I guess. Get back to it. So I played the new Snapshot. I wanted to go find some new things on the Snapshot. And guess what? Didn't find anything. Didn't find anything from the Snapshot. There was a desert. No village. And I think the camels come with villages.
Did you turn the data packs on?
What do you mean?
Jimbo didn't read the show notes. Here's the very first show note. New features in 22W42A. Some experimental features now are available through built-in experimental data packs. You have to start a new world and turn the experimental data packs on.
What? Why? Why do I gotta do that?
I'm sorry, but I saw everyone on the Discord doing the same thing. Like, I can't find the new stuff. And I was like, did anyone turn the data packs on?
Why would they make that a thing? Turn the data pack on. Why give us a snapshot and not put anything in there without a freaking trigger?
Because it's not, it's like...
experimental.
It's 119.3. It's not necessarily 1.20.
But it's also got 1.20 stuff there, so...
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and it is a little weird. But they're trying to do it a new way, and I think it's to ease stuff out, which I'm okay with. So we're not waiting for 8 months to get camels, which we know are already done.
Yeah, well, it's not that I couldn't find a camel. There wasn't no villages in these deserts that I came across.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, usually there's one.
Yeah.
And that's where I assumed the camel was. At least that's what I think I heard that. Camels will be in the middle of the village near the bell.
Mm-hmm.
Could be wrong. But yeah, that and bamboo, couldn't find any of that. Didn't look too hard, I guess. But yeah, besides playing a little bit of the new single player Snapshot, I played like a few hours, just pretty much playing Minecraft single player. It's the beginning of a world on single player can be pretty boring.
Yeah.
Multiplayer, I think, is a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, single player, I'm like, man, this is going to take time for me to get
exactly, yeah,
where I want to be. Didn't really grind much of it out. Haven't been playing the single player Snapshot. At least I thought it was a Snapshot. Just playing 119, apparently. Might turn the data pack on, see what it's about, see if it feels any different. But, it wasn't as much given to us as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But besides Minecraft, I burned my pants today at work.
Nice.
Yeah, I was cutting a metal plate, and the sparks were flying. Sparks fly everywhere. This is the environment I work in. We're always cutting things, welding things, and trying to fabricate things if we need to. There's always sparks going off. And these sparks went through my pants as I'm cutting. Put a hole in my pants, and I looked down. This is like near my zipper, near my private area. So I looked down, I got this hole in my pants. These are FR pants I got on. I'm like, what the heck? Not only did it go through my pants, it went through my shorts under my pants.
Mm-hmm.
It almost broke through the next layer. And I was putting it out. I'm sitting there, smacking myself, trying to pat it out and stuff. Oh, man. No one was around when this happened. Almost caught myself on fire in the wrong area.
For anyone who doesn't know, FR pants is fire-resistant pants.
Yes, they're fire-resistant. All of our clothes we wear are fire-resistant, so we don't catch on fire. But hey.
Jimbo still finds a way.
I was on fire today. Yep. Pretty much my pants was on fire.
All I can imagine is your stupid LA early in the season. Stupid Todd!
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was a fun story.
Sounds like it.
Fun for everyone else. Yeah, that's pretty much my week. Besides the fact that I've been doing a lot of housework. We have a big Halloween party coming up next week, here really soon, actually. Yeah, doing a lot of housework, painting. Doing some painting and moving stuff around.
I know, because you wanted to change the recording date to Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked you Saturday night you want to record. No, we should probably move it to tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was stuck painting last night also.
I've never heard of anyone painting their house for a party.
It wasn't supposed to. It was like, hey, my wife wanted to paint the trim and, get the walls done. Well, we have this party coming up and everything is like half painted. So we're like, we have a party coming up. We have to finish this. This is one of the things. So now we're, go. Let's get this done.
Gotcha.
It's not so bad. It's kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
For a little while until you're like 2 hours, 3 hours in. You're like, ugh, we're never going to get done. Yeah, that's been my week.
All right. Should we talk about the news?
Yeah.
Snapshot 22W42A. Some experimental features are now available through built-in experimental data packs.
Some experimental features. How about all experimental features. I didn't see some.
Bundles are a data pack, and then the 120 stuff is a data pack.
There's a couple.
So depending on which data pack you turned on.
Oh, okay. That was the second part. Bundles are now available.
And it also means you can't update an existing world into these new features, which is a bit strange to me.
Why?
We've never had a snapshot do this. We've never. No, we have. We've had an experimental where you had to start a new world. This is true.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
With the data packs.
But at the same time, we were told that these are 100% done. That's why we saw them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they're still considered experiment.
I want to see the 50% done stuff. You know? I want to see that stuff.
That's another thing I want to put out there because I did gripe a bit last week about the new skins.
Mm-hmm.
They showed off these new skins, but then said they weren't done. Yet we were looking at all of them in the preview.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have officially been put into the game, so it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
GG's on that one.
They had them all but given to us.
Yes.
They were done, just haven't given them out.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't figure it out, because like I can see them, they're done, but the big thing is like you just can't update an existing world, because that's one thing I was going to do on the My Own Survival world was just update it to 120. Because My Own Survival world is not doing good on views. Pretty much half of my channel 64 views.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe if I put it on 120, it'll be more interesting for people. And I don't know if it's just because the world's so old and I don't progress to it super quickly. Because it's kind of my hangout and chill world where we do smaller projects and we go at a fun pace, not a extreme pace.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to do that, but it looks like I got to start a new world if I want to do that.
Redo it all?
Well, you just said yourself that single player world starting over is really boring and slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never recorded or plan on recording that little bit that I was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would change it at all. The experience being boring or...
I mean, I still find the beginning of worlds super boring, so...
Yeah, you're like that regardless.
Yeah, the people who are constantly resetting worlds every month, I'm just like, what is wrong? You're essentially just doing the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other big works that we didn't see during live was they reworked the creative tab.
Yeah.
So items are a bit more organized than they were before, and I love that.
Yeah, I haven't really got to see that, but more organization's always better. I always feel like I'm searching constantly for something in the creative menu and have no idea where it is. Like it should be in a certain area and it's not.
Yeah, why are trapdoors in redstone?
Right.
Well, now they're not. Well, I think they might be.
I could see them being.
But they're in multiple places now.
See, that's good. Multiple places.
All the oak block variants will be next to each other. All the warp block variants will be next to each other. That's how it's broken down. It's very clean. I like it. It's a lot better.
Nice.
Some of the tabs have been renamed. Some of them have just been taken away. I haven't messed with the experimental stuff. That's the one downfall. I kind of think I'm going to have to start doing that. I don't like doing it. I like to kind of wait for it all to be brought over. But if we're getting a bunch of small stuff now, because that seems to be the new thing, Mojang's saying we're releasing updates, at least for Java, and increments.
Yep.
So we're not waiting for one big update. It'll be a bunch of small little updates with one big theme. Might have to start doing that.
Yeah, the theme's kind of scattered at this moment.
I don't know. I think I got the theme with my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Be like the Sands of Time theme. We have archaeology, desert update, camels. Well, no, they actually came out and said the theme was player expression. That's exactly what I did.
Is it though?
It's exactly what I'm sorry, Mojang, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Bamboo wood, chiseled bookshelves. How do you express that?
And what's the one thing that every builder in Minecraft has asked for?
Well, probably concrete stairs and slabs.
Yep. If you really wanted us to express ourselves, you'd give us the one thing that I know everyone has asked for is stairs and slabs. So if that doesn't come in this update,
I mean, yeah, I don't see it happening in this update. I feel like that would be a big thing.
I mean, they're reworking the inventory tabs, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But I also feel with the fact that we had all the wood types for bamboo shown, that concrete stairs and slabs would have been easily done too.
Yeah, I feel like the inventory is more messy with the new wood type than if they would have given us stairs and slabs in each color.
Yeah.
And we're not asking for walls, or are we? Are we? Is that what we're asking? We're asking for the walls too.
Some people are. I honestly don't care.
Yeah, I'd be okay with stairs and slabs. I could see how walls are a concrete thing in real life.
Yeah, there's a lot of people asking for dirt stairs and slabs, and I can see not doing those.
Right.
Like concrete powder stairs and slabs, I don't why. If anyone who's played with concrete powder knows that that's like powder. You could not mold it into anything.
Mm-hmm. You may get a slab out of it, but not a stair.
Not one you want to stand on.
Mm-mm.
And I get it, it's a game. It's already molded into a block. Yeah. Let's talk some camels. How have you liked the camels so far?
So far, what I see, I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that, they give you different features than some of the other mobs.
Yep.
Similar to like the horse or the llama. You can ride them, steer them with another player. I love the fact that the player that is seated with you can actually aim and use their weapons or whatever they may have in their hand.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't look like they're going to shoot you or the thing you're riding on.
Yeah. And if it were to shoot you, that would make sense. Because you are on the back, you have to watch your fellow driver, I guess you'd call it.
Well, like, you could be on a horse, and I've seen multiple times people try to shoot an arrow off a horse, but the hitbox is obviously different than what we see, and they end up shooting their own horse.
Okay.
So having a second person can kind of keep that from happening.
Yep.
Very quickly, the camel has been brought in to work around mob farms. You need a zombie piglin farm, just go to the nether and punch one and sit on top of a camel because they can't hit you.
Oh, that's true.
Yup.
Yeah, anything that doesn't have like a ranged attack.
Yep.
You can just get away from them on a camel. Besides a creeper.
Yeah, creepers still blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
They're grumpy creatures, like they randomly sit down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that animation.
Great animation, but it makes me wonder, like, are they just going to randomly sit down while I'm trying to move them around?
Yeah, I don't know. It says, they're difficult to convince them to move. Wonder how that works.
Yeah, so that's something I'm questioning. But overall, the camel is a very cool mob. It's not going to take over Elytra travel, that's for sure.
No.
But it's nice to have a variation.
I thought it was strange they're bred with cactus.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything in the game they would breed with, you'd assume cactus.
Well, and they really do eat cactus, so...
Yeah, it gives cactus another use.
This is true.
A small use, but something.
Yeah. What about the bamboo? Do you think the bamboo is a good-looking wood set?
I think it could use a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Anything, I don't know, any new block that has all these different variations, I feel is a good thing. It's completely, it can be used as regular wood. I'm sure it can be made to make bookshelves or chests or anything of that caliber. Yeah, and I feel like it'd be cheaper.
It is.
It'd be the way to go. Yeah, I mean, bamboo, to make a farm of bamboo, you get a lot of this stuff when you farm it. So it could be an easy wood farm, like an easy wood farm. You don't have to worry about planting a tree, growing a tree. You could let the thing go. All you'd have to do is craft the wood. So it's a pretty big deal for anyone, that has trouble farming wood.
Mm-hmm. No, you're 100% right. Bamboo has taken over. Like, I use jungle wood as my quote-unquote trash wood. The thing I use to quickly craft a ton of chests, crafting tables, stuff like that. Bamboo, because not bamboo, but jungle is what I can get a ton of really quickly. Now bamboo is the thing you can get a ton of really quickly. And I haven't seen anyone talk about the fuel yet, if it's the same, but crafting planks kind of seems like it would be the new way to fuel stuff. But I agree with the textures need some work.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be a little more green.
A lot of people have been pushing for the green bamboo.
Yeah.
I personally don't like it, but at the same time, I don't like what we have now.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a greenish wood. I'm not talking like the bamboo when it grows, it's kind of more of a vibrant green. What if it was more of like a dull, I don't know, I got a certain look in my head that I'm thinking of
Yeah, and I immediately think of like Chinese and Japanese bamboo scaffolding,
That's kind of like what I got in my head.
but that's yellow.
See, I see it as green in the scaffolding.
Hang on, I'm googling it real quick.
Google that.
Bamboo scaffolding. It's all kinds of yellow, man.
Oh, hold on. Let me come in here and debunk this. I'm getting Minecraft pictures. Hold on. Oh, it says Minecraft in my search.
Oh, I'm not looking at Minecraft. I'm looking at real world scaffolding.
I don't know. I'm looking at it. Looks brown, yellowish.
Well, okay. I'll put a tan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're about right.
If you want to call it tan, that's fine. But it's definitely not green.
Mm-hmm. I think it's green until it's like chopped down.
Yeah. Skin.
Mm-hmm. Skin.
I don't know if bamboo has skin or not, but
It's what's that called?
bark.
Yeah. What's it called when you chiseled? No, not chisel. I can't think of it. Stripped wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, stripped bamboo. Maybe you have two kinds. Maybe you have a green block until you strip it, just like any other wood. You strip, and you have yellow underneath, tan.
I don't know.
Because there's no strip variant. That's what I'm going with. Going with that.
All right.
Let's stick to it.
I definitely think the texture needs a little work, though.
Mm-hmm.
Chiseled bookshelf. All right. So come to find out, chiseled bookshelf, you cannot individually pick the books out of the chiseled bookshelf. It works just like the bundle.
Yep.
The order you put them in is the order you take them out. I hate this.
I don't like it at all, and I didn't like it when I first saw it. Love the idea of a bookshelf holding books.
Mm-hmm.
Any different kind of books, but even then, like, it's holding what is hold books and quills, written books and enchanted books. That's even a little more confusing because like anything could be in there. You know, you might have an idea if it's, just regular books or enchanted books, but now that you have all different kinds of books that can go in there, it's confusing to find a certain book. You can't tell by looking at it.
Yep.
There's no GUI. You have to go through all these books to find that one.
And the worst part is books for basically all of mankind,
Same thing.
time in general, since books have been around,
Since time of man.
have the title of the book on the spline so you don't have to dig all the books out of the bookshelf to know which one you want.
Yeah, definitely points for using the word spline right there, too. Give you points for that.
Yeah.
Never used that word.
I can't talk man time, but book talk?
Mm-hmm.
It just seems weird to me. It's like I would rather open a GUI and deal with that than have to go through this.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the state it is now, all I would do would be store the same identical kind of enchanted book in it, so I wouldn't have to think. I could just pull it.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, all the chiseled bookshelves are the same.
Yes.
They're all the same if they're all in there, or if one's missing or whatever, that book goes, that color book, shape, size, it goes in that slot, regardless what you put in there. It would be nice, and this is what we were asking for. We're asking for the randomization of these bookshelves to make them more random because they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Here you kind of gave us the same things, and we can't even pick which ones we want to take out or in. It's just, I don't know, a little frustrating.
Yeah, or if you, even if you just want to be like, I have fire-resistant potions on all of my chiseled bookshelves top shelf, and I have mending on my bottom shelf. It's like, just knowing that would make things a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it only stores 6.
Yep.
A chest can store way more.
Yep.
I do like the textures, like on the top and the bottom and the sides.
Yeah, those are very good.
Yeah, I do like that.
What's going to happen is the chiseled bookshelf to me will not be a reliable storage option. It's just going to be for decoration. Maybe some redstone, because we do get redstone signals out of it.
Yeah.
But if I need to store anything, it's going to be into a chest or a barrel.
Yeah, you're probably not going to put anything in there besides regular books.
Right.
Just for the looks. Books for looks.
Yeah, and see, what makes me think that they did 6 was because it's working like a bundle. So they're like, oh, well, you only have 6 to go through, so it's not like you're digging very deep.
Okay.
But I don't know. I really thought you could just pull out a certain book from a certain section, and that's why they did the 6, because you could only graphically put 6 books on the face of it. Now we're finding out that it doesn't matter. Yeah, the books disappear graphically, but like you said, it's the same book in the same section as you take them out. If you have 3 books in there, you have visually the same 3 books in every shelf. It doesn't matter where the 3 books are.
They go in the same order.
Yeah.
Come out the same order. It's not like you go to a library and you're like, oh, I need to find this book. Better go through all these books. No, there's a section, and it usually tells you the title on the side, so you know what you're grabbing. Be nice to have something like that on the spline, as you said. I'm going to start using that word.
Well, it is what it's called.
I know. I never knew what that was called. No.
Finally, hanging signs, which has felt like the most complete feature in the game, or at least I shouldn't say in the game, that we were shown.
Yeah.
There is talk about changing the font size, because Bedrock's font size is smaller, which means they can get more lettering or characters horizontally. It's the same vertically. It's always going to be 4 sections. I like the way the Java ones look better, but at the same time, a lot of people are going, why can't we get it on both sides? And I think this is a good point.
Yeah, that is.
And I don't care if it's just mirrored. Like, I can't have something written on both sides. I can understand that. But if you mirror what's on one side to the other side, I would be sold. 100%.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Definitely be useful. I do find it strange that it has to be the strip variant you make the signs with, besides the bamboo. Apparently, it can just be made into it. It'd be nice to get all the variants of wood in the signs.
Well, I mean, we don't get all the variants of wood now with regular signs.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really mind that. Yeah, it's expensive, but...
Yeah, it's a little more expensive.
But other than the lettering, I mean, they do what they say they do. The fact that the side attaching ones, those are the coolest ones for me.
Yeah.
Like, I can see you using those side attaching ones to make a railing instead of, like, I use a lot of trapdoors for rails. Now I can use these signs. I need to see what the hitbox is like, though. If you would physically just kind of, like, walk over it, or would you hit it? That's kind of a big thing.
Right, because signs, you can usually walk right through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you imagine, because there is, like, a extra pole when you hang them on the side of a block, so there is a little extra there that you should be able to, players should be able to interact with.
Yeah.
The hanging part, see, I couldn't see, like, if it's hanging from above, I don't see it having a hitbox in that case. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's one thing I'd like to check.
Let's head on to listener comments. This one's from Jronman. J-Man asks, I know Duds really wants an inventory update. Let's say 120 is the inventory update. It's not. This question was asked before live. What theme would you guys like to see after an inventory update? Maybe you could give a name, theme, and a possible version number. Inventory update will be the 143 update. That's my guess. I don't think it's ever going to come soon.
I think they're going to touch up on it with, like, just little bits and, so many updates. Give us one thing to help us with inventory, with a different theme, and then maybe a couple more updates. Get another little thing that would help us with inventory. I don't see the whole update being about inventory.
No, it definitely won't be its own inventory.
Right.
I know a lot of people keep pushing for this end update. I could care less about an end update.
I'd like to see an end update.
I mean, we'd have to get some really good looking blocks from there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but everything from the end other than shulker boxes and elytra, to me, just stink. Instone, brick, purpur, chorus fruit, none of that stuff looks good. Inrods, yeah, okay. Especially now that they've changed the base plate from purple to gray. That's a lot nicer. But yeah, I wouldn't want to build in the end. Endermen are everywhere and they're annoying, which means everything has to be like too tall, 2.5 tall to keep them out of your way. I don't know.
Unless the end update prevents that. Maybe there's some biomes that
Enderman can't spawn.
You don't have to worry about Enderman. Yeah. Maybe not.
I'd want the combat update. We saw like a hint of that. What was it, 3 years ago or something like that? And then we haven't heard anything about it since.
Yeah, they've only touched on it a couple times. Little bits about it.
Basically, when Jeb stopped being the one who worked on it, we hadn't seen anything from it since. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone can point me in where we've gotten some updates on it. But I'd like a bit of a combat update. I really liked where Jeb was going with it.
I have a question here from JesseW. They ask, with the soon-to-be added Sniffer boy, do you think we will get more ancient mobs added in the future? Perhaps a more hostile one to a raptor or T-Rex? Ooh, thanks. JesseW Dino Fanatic was accidentally slain by a sleeping camel. That's a little thing they added on the end. So more ancient mobs. What do you think?
Well, ancient in Minecraft terms, to me, is just made up. Because
Right.
we're not going to see dinosaurs in Minecraft. They've already come out and said that they're trying to move more towards fantasy creatures.
Mm-hmm.
When they do these like mob vote style things, it honestly surprised me that we were getting the camel after they said that. I don't know.
I mean, if any mob is ancient, it'd be the creeper. Yeah, it's one of the first mobs ever made.
Yeah, well, I get what they're saying because there's a rumor going because the bone structures that you can find underground.
Oh, yeah.
There's one that resembles the shape of the Sniffer.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that.
And honestly, I see that as just a coincidence.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the Sniffer gets really big. We really don't know much about it.
That is there too. Very much a possibility.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess any mob you bring in, you can title it as ancient.
Right.
You know, I mean, any new mob.
I would say the only thing that makes the Sniffer an ancient mob is because we call it an ancient mob.
Yeah.
So, I mean, allays could be ancient fairies.
Right.
There's that. Like, dinosaurs, raptors. I don't see bringing in hostile mobs in general is a very hard thing to do balance-wise. Because you don't want to ruin gameplay for people. And there's a lot of people who just don't care for the PvE aspect of Minecraft. I am one of them. I do it because I need to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, having dinosaurs, well, it would look really cool. Having to worry about a raptor all the time.
Yeah, I feel like that's for like a different game.
I could see it being a DLC add-on for Bedrock.
Right.
And it would fit in really good there. That would be fun.
Yeah, they might already have something like that.
They probably have a Jurassic Park add-on.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more question from BooN, and they ask, what do you guys think of the new wood type, and do you think they should add pattern versions of other blocks, and what would they look like? I definitely think they should add the chiseled wood to some of the other wood types. I don't know what they would look like. I will say that somebody placed the chisel blocks in a way that resembles a certain old German faction, from the 40s.
You can do that? Yeah.
I was like, that's very unlucky.
Right.
So there is that. I know what they were trying. They were trying to get the parquet floor look, but in a plank form. And I think it just turned out unlucky that they can be placed in such a direction. You really just have to know what you're looking for to see it.
Yeah.
It's really not that big of a deal, but I can see that getting spammed everywhere because people are buttheads.
Yeah, it's probably an accident. That happens. Yeah, if I feel like if they all had pattern versions, chisel variants,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they would all look similar. No, now that I say it, that doesn't really make sense because all the doors and trapdoors are different.
Right.
They're all unique. So yeah, you'd have like the hatch type of pattern, crosshatch pattern with the bamboo.
Yeah, I don't know what they would look like.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Telling you what things look like on a podcast is extremely hard.
Right. Yeah.
We physically cannot show you what we're thinking.
Even me saying crosshatch pattern, that's the most I can think of when looking at the bamboo, the chiseled bamboo.
Right.
That might not be the right words.
You say that, I say parquet, and
yeah.
There's people out there who have no clue what those words mean. And then you can try to Google it, but if you don't spell it correctly, you might not be able to find it still. So, Would we like them? Yes. Could we describe them to you? No.
Right.
Not at all. We're not that good with words to put that image in your head.
Yeah, being on a podcast, you think it's something we'd be good at.
No.
So words.
But thank you guys for those questions. Those comments were from our Discord, and it's the only place where you could talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Rebel JC's word for it.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Rebel JC, and I'd love for you to join our Discord community. Whether it's taking part in our Mending Minecraft vote, sharing your thoughts and opinions on Minecraft, or just chatting with like-minded listeners, the Withering Effect Discord has something for everyone. Join today by following the link in the show notes.
Thank you for the Discord ad, Rebel JC. And speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you to choose between one of three structures for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the End City, Amethyst Geo, and Ruined Portal.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... End City.
Of course.
Yeah, it crushed the competition. It had 36 votes. Amethyst Geode had 2, and Ruined Portal with 9. So yeah, people want to see an end update, duds. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, no, I know they want to see an end update.
Or just preferred over these two.
No, like, I want to say I saw that leading up to... I know Carl's big on the end update.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, even with the Nether update, that being a huge update, I go in the Nether, get what I need to get out.
Yeah. Well, let's mend this End City and see what an end update might look like.
And that's a problem because I forgot to do my Mending Minecraft this week.
Well, I'm going to explain the End City while you think of ways to mend it. End cities are castle-like structures found on outer islands of the End. They are inhabited by shulkers and hold loot among the most valuable in the game. End cities generate on large islands where coarse trees grow. Unlike other structures, end cities are generated in a noticeable grid. They are located only in chunks numbered 0 through 8, plus a multiple of 20. I wish I could give you an example, but I can't. Maybe I might be able to. End cities consist of tall skyscraper-like towers constructed out of endstone bricks and purple blocks. End cities are the only place to find ender chests, end rods, and elytra in the game. Some noticeable loot found in these cities are diamonds, enchanted armor, enchanted tools and sword, and emeralds. And that is it for the End City.
Mm-hmm. When you think of like End Cities, End Cities is one of the most complete structures in the game. I've said this about ocean monuments where really the loot is the only thing that's not great, but you can farm it. End cities have the best loot in the game. You have elytras, you have shulker boxes, you have diamond tools and weapons, ender chests are in there. All this really good stuff. They're interesting shapes. They resemble the chorus fruits from the surrounding areas. How do you fix something that does its purpose correctly and does it better than all the structures in Minecraft? Like Ruined Portal, that's an easy fix. There's a tons of things you can do with a Ruined Portal that makes sense. End City, the real big thing that I don't like is there needs to be a portal in the End Cities. So after you finish raiding an End City, I don't know, most of the time I make a shulker box, throw all my stuff in the shulker box, and I jump into the void.
Well, in an inner chest.
Well, yeah, and I put it in the inner chest.
Yeah, you gotta put it in the inner chest.
Yeah. Looking for one of those portals on the way back. It's a pain and a waste.
Yeah, it can be.
So I don't know why every city doesn't have one of those. Maybe have kind of additional structures in the city. Maybe the chance for ships is a little bit higher. I've seen a lot of chunks lately chopping ships off, which is really rough. Like, I had never seen that in person till probably the past year. And then I've seen 3 of them. And then I've heard of a lot of people. I want to say on Channel 64, there's at least one. Ripple Effect last season, there was one, and I found one in the My Own Survival world. So maybe moving the ships to a better chunk location would be a good fix to stop that. I mean, visually, it's not a lot. The End has 2 creatures, the Enderman and the Shulkers, and they're both inhabiting End cities.
Mm-hmm.
Tactically, the End cities can be challenging. Their whole thing is verticality. The Shulkers lift you up and drop you as a way to kill you.
Mm-hmm. There's some parkour elements.
There's some parkour elements, and End cities can kill you. I've died to End cities before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely.
they're a bit of a challenge. And I'd say the one thing they're missing is the farming aspect, but we have shulker duplication now, so you can farm shulkers. I'm to the point where an in-city might be one of the ugliest structures in Minecraft because of all the endstone and purpur, but it might be one of the most complete structures in Minecraft. Now that we're sitting here talking about it,
Yeah, it's pretty close. I agree with that.
it's pretty close.
Maybe different looking blocks, or new blocks.
Yeah, that's an obvious one. If you want to add new blocks, new structures, that'd be different. But to fix the in-city as it is with what we have in the game now, just put a portal in. It's pretty good. You're not going to beat the loot. Maybe, okay, here is one thing. Maybe have food, a more range of food in the city itself. You can get beetroot seeds. I don't think you can get actual beetroots to eat.
No, just the seeds.
Yeah, you can eat coarse fruit, but that teleports you around everywhere. A sturdy actual food, that could be nice. But I think you wouldn't get something like that unless the end got update with new plants. So, I'm sorry if it feels like I wasted some of your guys' vote, because 36 of you did vote compared to the rest. But end cities are good. Like, it's rare for me to say these structures are 100%. I'd say it's, 95% complete?
Yeah.
So if like an ancient monument, or not ancient monument, ocean monument, I'd say it would be about 80. The loot's not very good, but the farm you can make out of it's really good. Ancient cities are like, I don't know, at 45, 50%. They look really cool. The warden is a really cool mechanic mob with the skulk and stuff, but the loot's garbage. Swift sneak, bleh. Swift sneak's good, but it's not great.
Yeah, as of right now, I think end cities are my favorite to raid.
Right? They're some of the most fun I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good time.
Especially when you have buddies. You have multiple people raiding with you, and you're just hearing people die and fight and attack and stuff.
Make games out of it. Mm-hmm.
That's why you see a lot of people stream end raids, because they're so fun. I don't know. I'm going to leave it there. I literally would only put a portal in the city. If I'm going to change anything, it would require an end update where we'd get new blocks and new plants. So instead of adding anything new to the game, which I say we shouldn't do, I know I've done it a couple times before, but nah, portal.
Oh, it is the only place to get a dragon's head, too.
It is the only place to get a dragon's head.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you, the loot in cities is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's useful and fun. You can't say that about a lot of places. Sponges are useful, not really that fun. Alright, I think that's going to do it for today's show. But before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Arrington, Omni, Bobo Plays Games, Fragile Rock, Funky Llama, Casey Plays Games, Loki, Nathlak, and Viper's Tuna. If you two would like to get access to exclusive benefits and extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow us so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear throughout the show was created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.
I missed a good thing I mentioned to Carl, and I should have asked how many people are listening to the show that found out about us through Cubed.
Oh, yeah.
Through CubedCon.
We had a good bit of listens.
Yeah.
From that episode, I heard.
They essentially doubled. Now, granted, that's our biggest episode of the year every year.
Yeah, the update.
And it's still not even our biggest episode all time. I think the Prowl episode was a tiny bit faster to 1,000 listens. But I would be really interested to know how many people saw the booth and came to find us.
Yeah, we definitely have to mention that.
I think Carl's going to set up some polls
Okay.
So we'll find out. But that, I just wish I would have asked on the show, because some people are listening through Spotify and stuff, and they're not part of the Discord.
Yeah.